Right now, if someone walked up behind you and dragged their fingers across your ribs, you would lose it. You would flinch, you would laugh, you might actually fall over. But if you try it yourself, right now, nothing. Same pressure, same fingers, same ribs, and your brain does not even flinch. For something so small and so weird, this has never gotten the explanation it deserves. Because the reason you cannot tickle yourself is not simple. It is a window straight into how your brain constructs your entire experience of reality. And when you understand it, a few other things you have always taken for granted start to look very different. Here is what is actually happening. Your brain is not a passive recorder of the world. It is a prediction machine. Every single moment of your waking life, it is running a model of what is about to happen next. What the floor will feel like under your foot. What your coffee will taste like before it reaches your mouth. What your own hand will feel like the moment before it touches your skin. When your brain predicts a sensation perfectly, it does something that sounds almost impossible. It cancels the signal before it reaches your conscious awareness. Not reduces it, cancels it. The sensation is filtered out at the source. This is called sensory attenuation, and it is not a quirk or a flaw. It is one of the most important things your brain does. Think about what life would be like without it. You would feel your own clothes as a constant, overwhelming sensation every second of the day. You would hear your own footsteps as loud as an intruder's. You would feel every blink. Your brain would be so buried in signals from your own body that nothing from the outside world could get through. Sensory attenuation is how your brain separates signal from noise. Self-generated movement gets suppressed. Everything else stays loud. The science behind this was pinned down in the late 1990s by a neuroscientist named Sarah Blakemore at University College London. She put people in a brain scanner and had them experience two conditions. In the first, a robotic device tickled the palm of their hand. In the second, they controlled the robotic device themselves, producing the exact same physical sensation on the exact same spot. The results were stark. Self-generated touch produced significantly less activity in the somatosensory cortex, the region that processes physical sensation. The brain was literally turning down the volume on touches it had predicted. And when Blakemore introduced a small delay, a fraction of a second between the person's movement and the robotic touch, something changed. The touch started feeling real again. The ticklishness came back. Because the prediction was no longer perfect. The timing was off. The brain could no longer cancel what it could not perfectly anticipate, which tells you something important. The prediction has to be exact. Even 100 milliseconds of lag is enough to fool your own nervous system into treating your hand like a stranger's. Now here is where this gets genuinely strange. Patients with schizophrenia, in some cases, can tickle themselves. Researchers, including Blakemore, tested this and found that people experiencing certain symptoms of schizophrenia showed significantly less sensory attenuation. Their brains were generating weaker predictions about self-produced sensations. And as a result, their own touch felt more like someone else's. This is not a side note. This is a clue to one of the deepest mysteries in psychiatry. Because some of the most distressing symptoms of schizophrenia involve exactly this kind of boundary breakdown. The sense that your own thoughts were put there by someone else, that your own actions are not fully yours. What Blakemore's research suggests is that the mechanism behind tickling and the mechanism behind the sense of self may be the same mechanism. Your brain's ability to predict and suppress self-generated signals is part of what makes you feel like you are the author of your own actions. When that prediction system breaks down, the line between self and world starts to blur. A sensation your hand produces starts to feel like something that happened to you. A thought your own mind generated starts to feel like it arrived from outside. The inability to tickle yourself is not a limitation. It is proof that your brain is drawing a line, in every moment, between you and everything that is not you. And that line is not fixed. It is a live calculation, running constantly, based on what your brain expects to happen next. Every time you reach for a door handle and feel it before you expect to, your brain notices. Every time the floor shifts beneath you when you were not anticipating it, your brain flags it. Everything that surprises your prediction gets full, unfiltered volume. Everything your brain saw coming gets turned down. Your experience of reality is the difference between those two signals. The world as you feel it is not a recording of what is out there. It is a record of everything your brain failed to predict, which means the most vivid, real-feeling experiences of your life are the ones your brain never saw coming. And the parts of your life that feel routine, familiar, dull, expected, your brain has already started canceling those too. The same system that makes you impossible to tickle is quietly deciding, right now, what you will actually notice about your own life. If that thought is going to stick around, you will have to be the one who let it surprise you.